Hi guys, Nikhil here. Welcome to Salesforce Troop, and this is the part 10 of our Lightning Web Component series. And today's topic is component to component event communication using PubSub module. Let's see the agenda. So today's agenda is first we'll see event communication overview, then we'll see PubSub design pattern. After that, we'll see how to create your own PubSub library. After that, we'll see what is stored in PubSub module, how to create a subscribe method, how to create a publish method, how to use the PubSub library in components, and then we'll go for the complete demo. So the first topic is event communication overview. So till now we have seen how parent to child communication happens in the component and how child to parent communication happens. So but there is an issue when there is two components which are we don't have shares the common parent. So suppose E and component F, they both are not connected with any of the parent, so there is no interconnection or there is no link between these two components. So in this kind of structure or the communication, we use PubSub model, and PubSub model only works in the single page application. Single page means it is sharing the same parent component throughout the app, and it's not communicating between, like, there are one more different DOM and the another different DOM is running, that is multi application. So by default we are creating nowadays a single page application, so don't worry about that. So our second topic is PubSub design pattern. So in JavaScript, this is one of the most common design pattern for messaging services. So we called it publish and subscribe pattern as well. In this, one component publish an event and another component subscribe to receive and handle that event. So if you look at this diagram, we have component A that has two child, component B and component C. I want a communication from component B to C. So if component B published something and the same name is listening by or subscribed by the component C, so as soon as the component B publishes, component C listen, the event is triggered, and based on that event, it will do that functionality, whatever that you want. So every component that subscribe to in the event receive the events. So as you click here, it will get the event and it will perform the task that you want to perform. So this is the basic overview of PubSub design pattern. So let's see how to create your own PubSub library. So there are four steps to create the PubSub module. I'm using module and library interchangeably. And so the first step is create a store. Second step is create a subscribe method. Third step is to create publish method, and fourth step is to create unsubscribe method. So let's go and create a store first. Let's go to VS Code. And zoom it a little bit. Let's create first lightning component. Go to command palette, press create lightning web component. I'm giving name PubSub. Enter, take the default path. So now you can see our component is ready. I want this component to be a service component, so I'm going to remove the HTML. So I'm going to remove this .html file because it's going to be a util file kind of. I'll remove everything from the JS file. And so as I mentioned, to create a PubSub library, we need to create, first step one is to create a store. So store is nothing, it's an object. I create a variable called store and assign an empty object to it. So let's go to what is store in PubSub module. Store is a JavaScript object that keep a track of your events and their methods. So it's an empty object. Right now we have already seen we have initialized with an empty object, and going forward it will store the event name and the callback. Callback is nothing, the method that you pass as an argument to a function. So it will store similar to a tabular form you can think of. So store is a JavaScript object that keep your events and method records. Okay, so we already done with the store. So let's go to the second step. So our second step is to create a subscribe method. So subscribe method that takes two arguments. First is the event name and the second one is the callback function. So I'll give you a better view for this method. So this is the subscribe cycle. So within the PubSub module, we'll create a subscribe method, and that subscribe method, when we call that subscribe method, will pass the event name, and like I shown here, say hello. I'll create a callback. Callback is nothing, the method. So if you can see here, the method I have created is a subscribe callback that receive the data and alert the data. So that reference I'm passing this dot subscribe callback, and once this method gets called, it will go to the store and check whether this event name, that is say hello, is stored in the store object. If it's not, then it will come event name exists in store. No, then it will go to store and write that event name and the callback. If it's already present in the store, it will update the reference. So this is the basic flow of subscribe cycle. Let's create the subscribe in our PubSub library. So step 2, create subscribe method. So subscribe method, first we create the name constant subscribe. So I'm using an arrow function. As we know, the subscribe method will receive two things. First is event name, second is the callback. So we'll go with the same approach. It will receive event name, it will receive callback. Callback is the method reference, function reference. And then what we are doing here, we are checking whether this event name is present in the store or not. So we'll check that in our PubSub library. If not of store event name, so I'm checking here whether this event name is present in store or not. If not, that's why I put this exclamation mark. If this event name is not present in this store, then in store create the event name or store the event name. I'm initializing it with the new set method. So for those who don't know what this set is, so the set object let you store unique value of any type, whether primitive value or object references. Set objects are collection of values. You can iterate through the element of a set in an insertion order. So basically it allows you to store the unique values, and we are checking where if this event is not present in the store, create the property in that object with the event name, initialize with the new set, and then we'll do at the event name place add the callback. So what we are doing is, if the event name is not present, initialize the event name property in the store with the new set, and in the new set there is a method called add that allow you to set the callback to the particular property. So we are saving the callback method that is coming to a reference of event name, similar to this way that we shown in the design. So we first create the set method that stores the say hello as a property in the store object, and with respect to that we are storing the callback with reference to that event name. So now our subscribe method is ready. So subscribe method, we have already seen how it works. And now let's go to the publish method. So the publish method is a method that has two argument, event name and the other is the data. So let's go and see how publish cycle work. In publish also you will pass the event name and the data that you want to pass from one component to another component. As soon as the publish components get called, it will go to the store and say and check whether the name that I'm publishing, the event name that I'm publishing is already there in the store or not. If yes, it means somebody is already subscribing this method, then it will go and fetch the callback or the method store with respect to the say hello or the event name, and it call that method. If that method is or event name is not stored, nothing will happen, it just ignore it. Okay, so let's create our publish method now. Let's go back to VS Code, create publish method, say publish also pass event name and the payload is nothing, it's the data, and we'll check whether the event name is present in the store or not. So if yes, the event name is present, then we'll loop over the event over the store, and we'll use for each loop. We'll take the each item of the iteration name as callback, it's an alias, and we'll check try callback dot payload, otherwise catch error. If you are confused, just give me a second, I'll explain you again. Dot error. Okay, let's understand it once again. So when you publish something, you'll pass the event name and the data. So if the event name is present in that store, it will come to this if statement. If so, in our case it's already present, so it comes to the event name, it go to the loop and check the callback for that. Because it's a set method, it will store in the array form, so it will take the callback is the method that you passed earlier while subscribing, this callback, and the callback gets called. While calling this callback, we pass the data that is coming by the publish method, and if this will not work out, we'll throw an error in the console. So this is also pretty easy. Now we know how to subscribe, how to publish, and there is another method called unsubscribe that we discussed, like create an unsubscribe method. This we're not going to use today in our demo, but I'll show you how to create that. Step 4, create unsubscribe method. So this method is used to clean your events when you destroy your component. Destroy in the sense you are removing the component from the DOM. I'll create that unsubscribe. It also take the event name, callback. So what we are trying to achieve from the unsubscribe method is we already done with the event or the subscription that we were listening to the event. Now we want to remove that because that component is no more active on the screen. So we're going to remove that event. So if store event name is present, the event name that we want to unsubscribe is already present in the store. Go to store event name and delete that callback. So we are deleting that callback attached to that event name because the callback only gets executed every time we publish some event. So this is the subscribe method. Now we already create three methods: subscribe, publish, and unsubscribe. Let's export this method so that it will be available in our component. Subscribe, unsubscribe, and the third one is publish. So now we are ready with our PubSub library. You can use the library like you do if you don't want to like know how to create it, that is also fine. You can copy paste the code as it is. You should know how to use it at least. And so we are good with our pubsub.js library. Let's go back to our slides. So we are done with the pubsub library. Next is the demo, like how we gonna use this library in our project. So let's go and create three components. So the first component will be PubSub parent component. PubSub parent component. Default path. Second component is PubSub child PubSub child 1, and the third component is PubSub child 2. So now we have created three components: PubSub child 1, PubSub child 2, and PubSub parent component. So we gonna use child 1 and child 2 within the parent component, and we'll try to communicate from child 1 to child 2 using PubSub module. So first thing, we'll go to the parent component meta file and enable the targets and change the is exposed to true and targets app record and home page. Based on your need, you can set that. I always, for the demo purpose, I set all the targets, and this will allow your component to be visible in the app builder. So let's go to first our child 1. And will go with the basic demo first. Button, child 1, and I'm attaching a handler to it on click, and handler. I'll go to JS. It will receive an event, and I'll create another event called this dot event publisher. So I'll pass whatever the value I want, like I want hello from child 1, and I'll create that method event publisher, and it will receive the data. This is hello from child 1 is the data that is received by this method, and this method will call our pubshop.publish, and the event name should be say hello. I'm giving the event name, and we already know the publish will take two properties. One is say hello, and the another one is a payload, that is data. So data I'm getting, and let's import this library pubshop. So to import this, you need to use c/pubshop. So this is a service component. Service component is a component in which we don't have HTML, and it's just a module. So to import that module, we use c/pubsub. Pubsub is the name, and I'm using that pubsub. Within that pubsub, we are exporting three methods. So from pubsub, I'm using the publish method. In publish method, I'm passing say hello and passing the data. Say hello is my event name. Data is the data that I want to pass. So let's go to the child 2, and in child 2 also we're gonna import the pubshop first, and as soon as this component, because we want we already publish it, but this component should subscribe to that method. So there is a lifecycle hook connected callback. This method gets called every time the component loads and the DOM is ready, then this lifecycle hooks gets called. So once our DOM is ready or our component is rendered on the screen, we immediately call a method called call subscriber. So what it will do is it will call the method, or it subscribe the method as soon as the component loads in the DOM. And what this method gonna do is it will call the pubshop subscribe method, and here the event name should be same, the event name that we are passing, say hello, and we'll attach a callback that should get called subscriber callback. So once that event triggered from the component 1, it will listen by this method, because that event name are same, and it automatically call this method. So let's call this, let's create this method type callback, and let's print the data that is coming event. Yeah, let's push the code to our org. So first we'll push PubSub library, deploy source to org. Then we'll go to child 1, then child 2, and in last the parent component. If you deploy the parent component first, it will get failed because it's using the reference of child 1 and child 2, but we haven't include the reference yet. It's a good point. So let's include both the component to our parent component of shub child 1 and column of shub child 2 and leave around it. And good. Let's deploy it again. So the component is deployed successfully. Let's go to our org. So I already opened my org. I already created a page for this demo, PubSub event communication. I'll click on gear icon, edit page. It will take us to the app builder and we'll search for our component name, PubSub parent component, and drag to the main area. It is throwing an error. Subscribe is not a function. Okay, let's go back to our child component 2. So there is a spelling mistake. Subscribe. Let's deploy the component again. So now the component is deployed. Let's go back to our app builder and drag the PubSub parent component again. Now you can see the button is there. Let's save it. Let's go back. So now you can see the child 1 button that we have created in the component 1. The child 1 is on the screen. If I click on here, will print the text hello from child 1 in the console. That print will happen in the child component 2. So if I click on child 1, you can see successfully hello from child 1 is printing in the console, and this message is printed by the child component 2. So this is the basic of PubSub from child 1 to child 2 communication. Let's go back and build something interesting. So this is the basic flow actually. That's what I was trying to show you. Let's add one CSS file to our PubSub child 1. And I already have CSS ready. I'll just paste it as it is. You will get the code in my GitHub, and the GitHub link I'll add in my video description. So don't worry about the CSS code. Similar way, I'll go and create a PubSub child 2 CSS file. And I'll paste the code as it is. So now we're gonna build the accordion, and that accordion will be open based on the action that will happen at the child component 1. So first let's build the parent. Let's make our parent little bit more beautiful. Parent component. I'll create the lightning card. Card title. Component. Navigation using PubSub module. And I'll use an icon. Icon name custom 14. Anything is fine. And within this lightning card, I'll create a div with the class SLDS margin around the medium. I just want to give some margin around the card, and I'll copy paste our both component inside this. So our parent design is ready now. Let's go to our child one, and in child one HTML, I'll remove this everything. We'll create a div with class child one section. This class I already added in my CSS file. We'll give the heading child one, and we create the button class button success, and we'll attach the event handler button handler, and that has text success. Likewise, we'll create many buttons on the screen of different type. Copy the whole text, paste it 4 times. So our second button name is info, which has the class info. Third button type is warning, which has a class warning w small. And the fourth class is, or the fourth button is danger, that has text danger. So we totally have 4 buttons. One is success, second is info, third is warning, fourth is danger. All are using the same handler, button handler. Let's go to our button handler. I guess we already have that button handler from the previous demo. It's already there. It will pass the data to the child, and the data will be event dot target dot inner text. So inner text is, I think that's the text given in between the buttons. So we are passing this text to our another component. So it will take event.target.inner text and pass this data. And let's create this time the event name accordion triggered. So we are calling event name accordion triggered, passing the data based on the text that we are getting from here. Our child 1 is ready. Let's go to our child 2. So in child 2, we'll create a accordion list. So I already have an array of accordion list that has an ID, name, whether the accordion is open or not based on the property selected, and the class names. So this you'll get from my code. So what we're gonna do here is, okay, we are in the wrong file, sorry. Let me go and close all open tags. We want the child2 JS. We'll paste that here, our accordion list. Now we already have created call subscriber in our connected callback. That is fine. So call subscriber will receive an event. The event we want to listen here is accordion triggered. So we'll change this say hello to accordion triggered. We'll keep our callback name as subscribe callback, and once the subscribe callback gets called, what we're gonna do here is, based on the value that we are getting, we update the value of our selected to true or false. So that will tell which accordion to open. So we'll say let updated list equal to list dot accordion list. To accordion list data, we'll use the map that will return a new array, and we check here return if item dot name. Item dot name is nothing, that's a name property here, that success when this name in accordion list match with the event that we are passing, or the data that we are passing from child 1, that is the inner text, matches, then destructure the item and make the selected property as true, otherwise make the selected property as false. So we'll get the updated list, that is a new array, and then we update the accordion list. The new array. So what we are doing here is we are just updating the selected property based on the event name, the item name and the event that we are getting from the child 1. And once it's done, it will render this accordion list on our HTML file. Let's go and create our HTML file. Div class child code section. We'll take heading as well. And the heading is child 2. And then we'll look the accordion data. For that we'll use for each loop that will take the accordion list. Accordion list will take the each item as list, and for that we'll create a div, and within the for each loop you should have the key property as or attribute as mandatory. So we'll use the id as the key. We'll create button class list dot class name. Class name we already defined in the array of accordion list. That will show the name on the button, and use template if true directive, and we'll use selected property to hide and show the data. The panel, so we'll create a panel first within this. In panel you can add any random data, so we'll add the most common random data, lower epsilon. So what we are trying to do here is we are creating the accordion list. Initially accordions are closed, so this section is closed because selected is false for all the accordion list. So once the child 1 say open success, so the success accordion will get open and it show the panel. Likewise it's gonna work. So let's go and deploy our component. Apply source to child 1, child 2, and parent component. In Aura component, it was very tricky to achieve this kind of event communication, but because of this PubSub design pattern, it's pretty easy. Now our all components are deployed. Let's go and refresh our page. Now you can see this is the child 1 component that has 4 types of button. This is the child 2 component, that is accordion. List is there, success info warning. So if child 1 say open success component, it should open the success component. So right now it's not working. Let's see where it's breaking. Are we getting any error in our console? It's saying cannot read the property of accordion list of undefined. Maybe we are misspelled something. Let's go back to our VS Code and see. In child 2 this is. So let's go to our child component 2.js because we are getting an error. This dot accordion list is not present because this don't have the scope. Let's convert this function to an arrow function. Otherwise we need to bind the this to this method. So let's convert this into arrow function so that this scope is available within this function. And I hope rest thing is fine. Let's deploy this code. So the component gets deployed. Let's go to our page, refresh the page. Arrow function is a really good benefit of ES6. Otherwise we need to always take care of the this scope. So now if I click on the success, it will open the success accordion. Child 1 is saying open info, so it's child 2 is getting the event and it's open the info accordion. If I click in warning, it's opening the warning. If I click danger, it will open the danger. Now you can see how easy to achieve this sort of functionality or communication using PubSub. And let's go back to our slides. Yeah, so pretty much it for today's session. In today we have learned about how to create a design this PubSub library, how what is store, how subscribe method works, how publish method works, how basic flow from one component to another components happen. Apart from that, we have covered like all types of communication overview. We have seen basic communication, then we have built a big project like accordion one, in which the child one is passing an event to child who is listening to that event, and based on that it performing some action. So it's a pretty interesting topic today we covered today. So if any doubt or any question, you can ask me in the comments. All the links or the code that I have built or used, you'll get those things in my video's description. And thanks for your time. Have a good day, guys.